at what he did. You sided with Ross, some bozo. You got 19 years of being incarcerated. That 50 could have took that and converted that to about 5 seasons and then turned around and then did the overall movie. He had a good 30 to 50 million he could have made. Now you standing next to a mother who couldn't even keep a concert going. Rick Ross is on the concert.
Second on the line.
In about 10 days, Ross is going to throw him away. Now, I'm going to be real with you, Meech. If Rick Ross, seeing what he did to you, because he knew what he was doing standing on the side of him, right? He know Meech ain't thinking straight. If he don't throw you 3 wing stops, you ought to knock that down. What 50 gonna do? He's gonna burn that down. He gonna release that last season, and then he's gonna release the Tammy and discredit everything that people thought that man.
Elliot did my new BMF piece. My old BMF pieces I don't have no more. Elliot charged me $200,000 just for this Cuban. This Cuban is like 1,100 grams. It's chunky, real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3-4 hours. My neck started. The lock say Eliante on it. You know, say his name, his signature. They got the 3 big boogers on each side. So ain't no regular Cuban, you know. You might find a regular Cuban for 50 or for 100 maybe, but you know, it's 200 just for a kilo.
What's the pendant cost?
3 just for the pendant. There's some shit like you gotta give my daddy, like when he come home, I gotta keep this forever, like, you know. You can't even go no bigger than this, you know. You don't see no silver or gold. You see straight the water.
I'm sitting there analyzing it like, damn. Wanted some bread. I'm sitting there analyzing it like, damn. Wanted some bread, or maybe he spent all the bread because he made a couple of million with 5.
2-3 nights in a row. 3-4 nights in a row.
BMF boss, the legend Big Meech, has a GoFundMe page.
What?
It was said that this GoFundMe page was set up to assist him in paying his bills since his Welcome Home concert got canceled.
Meech getting out of jail and choosing to work with his son's boss's rival is prime example of how an unhealed parent can literally ruin your life. They will mess up relationships with your friends, with your significant other. You might even lose your job. Because nobody can tell me that Big Meech working with Rick Ross, his son's boss's known rival, was not deliberate. Okay? That is a very conscious choice. And why might a parent do that? Right? Maybe if they have some trauma, you know, a little bit of resentment and jealousy. Because sometimes with an unhealed parent, all of the reasons they should be proud of you are the same reasons why they're a little bit jealous of you, right? He should have came home and made his coming home about family. You know, passing the ranks to his son on TV, making millions, looking good, he acting, got a career. You shouldn't even be all on the phones, on Instagram, trying to do a car show with Rick Ross. It'll never be 2008 again. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't healed that. So now you trying to relive your 20s. So you're not seeing your son's accomplishments as this is my son's accomplishments. You're seeing it as like almost like competition. Like, oh, you trying to one-up me? Now the real Big Meech is home. So now let me show you how to get some money. Let me show you how to do it. I'm going to go work with your boss's rival. You think Big Meech thought about how him working with Rick Ross would affect his son? Because no, all I'm thinking about is some clout, some temporary clout. Because let's be clear, that relationship with Rick Ross and Big Meech is not real. It's not genuine. If somebody is with you just to spite somebody else, that is not a genuine bond.
Big Meech's money problems are making headlines, and Tony Yayo isn't holding back in a wild new interview. Yayo spilled the tea on why 50 Cent turned his back on Big Meech, and trust me, it all comes down to the money. Turns out Meech spent all his BMF cash, and his son followed right in his footsteps. To make matters worse, 50 Cent has completely cut ties with them, even threatening to pull the plug on the BMF show. Now Big Meech and his son are out here with no steady way to make money. It's safe to say this family is teetering on the edge of financial disaster, and they can't blame anyone but themselves. So, what exactly did Tony have to say, and just how deep are they in the hole? Let's dive in and find out.
Okay, now the question everyone's been asking about. 50 Cent versus Big Meech.
Man, woo. You know that 50 crazy, man. 50's crazy.
All right, now the question everyone's been asking, 50 Cent versus Big Meech. Man, you know 50 is crazy. So, Tony Yayo recently sat down with Vlad TV and he had some wild things to say about Big Meech's money problems. Here's the scoop: when Meech got out of prison on October 15, 2024, Tony swung by his crib with a few homies. Big Meech started complaining about Lil Meech not coming through with any cash. Turns out Meech's pockets are empty these days, and he was hoping his son would help him out. But Tony, he didn't feel a bit of sympathy. According to Yayo, Meech has nobody to blame but himself for this mess. He blew all that BMF money instead of handling it right.
When we go to your crib, and me and Murder sitting in the backyard, and you like, yo, little baby ain't give me no money. He came in the Ferrari truck. He had the Ferrari truck. He had 4 pockets full. I'm looking at this like, yo, this nigga tripping. Like, little baby he's not obligated to give you nothing. I looked at it like, from that point, maybe 50 should have brung a bag for Meech and maybe a watch or something. Because obviously that's what Ross did or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I had in mind. Because he said it to me and Murder, and I'm sitting there analyzing it like, damn, he wanted some bread, or maybe he spent all the bread because he made a couple of million with 5. My whole thing is, maybe the relationship would be good as if you saved some money for your pops when he came home. But I understand how it is to be a young black man with money and you don't make the right decisions.
Apparently, that's the reason Boosie agreed to do a free welcome back home concert for Meech before it got cancelled.
I'm assuming that you were doing it for free.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming everyone else was doing it for free also.
I'm pretty. I don't, but I'm pretty. I mean,
yeah.
You charge a nigga home from jail,
If Meech was hoping Lil Meech would fill his pockets, he's about to be really disappointed. Turns out Junior's just like his pops when it comes to blowing money. According to Yayo, Lil Meech dropped a wild $100,000 on Chrome Hearts jeans, dude owns like 10 pairs. It's clear he ain't great with his money, because if he was, he would have been helping his pops out instead of flexing in designer gear.
Young and have money, it's crazy because we was young and had money before, so I understand. Motherfucker got Richard Millie's, Lil Meech got Richard Millie's Chrome Heart jeans, 10,000. I buy some Chrome Hearts for 10,000. I might wear them shits for a month, bro. $10,000 jeans. You know, we was buying Red Monkeys. Them shits is what $1,000 back in the days. Now everything is like triple the price when it come to drip. So it's like, I understand him being young and all that. You gotta think, when you look at Lil Meech, no disrespect to him, but you hanging in Atlanta with Dugga and Gunna and them niggas at that point, them niggas got super bread. So even if you make 4 million, 3 million, you made a couple of million, whatever you made, I don't know the numbers exactly. The money that they making that in a couple of months. Or for touring and streaming and all that, you acting. So I think him being in Atlanta, I think that shit, I don't know, that Atlanta, you know, shout out to Magic City, the ladies, man, and all them clubs out there. That is a good way to spend money.
And fans know Tony ain't playing around. Back in 2023, Lil Meech made waves when he hopped on GQ's On the Rocks series to talk about his pricey bling, a $500,000 BMF chain. Fans couldn't believe he dropped that kind of money, but Lil Meech acted like he was straight up flexing, proud of the purchase.
Grams. It's chunky, real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3-4 hours. My neck started. The lock said Eliante on it. You know, say his name, his signature. They got the 3 big boogers on each side. So ain't no regular Q. You know, you might find a regular Q for 50 or for 100 maybe. But, you know, it's 200 just for a kilo.
What's the pendant cost?
3 just for the pendant. There's some shit like, you gotta give my daddy, like, when he come home, I gotta keep this forever, like, you know. You can't even go no bigger than this, you know. You don't see no silver or gold, you see straight.
At least he ain't getting an earful from his pops, seeing as Meech has the same money problems himself.
I go out and spend $50,000, $100,000 every night, 2-3 nights in a row, 3-4 nights in a row. Now you got some dudes been in the corner watching that want to spend a couple $1 million with you. Right. You see what I'm saying? I got lavish homes, lavish spots all over this mother.
To make matters worse, it looks like things aren't improving anytime soon because 50 Cent gave Lil Meech the harshest reality check. In a now deleted Instagram post, 50 shared some text messages from Lil Meech where he confronted 50 about his recent shots at his dad. They just told me you unfollowed me off Instagram, and now you're managing Skills Baby with Rocket when I brought him around you first when you didn't have a clue who he was. Now you mad at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you. I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only shown you love and loyalty. I'm human, I go through my own stuff, but I never switched up on you. Lil Meech also spoke on Big Meech's recent meeting with 50 Cent's longtime rival, Rick Ross, saying it was all about the money. He was like, forget Ross, but he gave my dad some cash so he could pay his bills until the next season starts. Lil Meech continued, this internet stuff is throwing me off, man. You know me in real life. But 50, being 50, wasn't feeling any sympathy. When he saw Lil Meech's text, he clapped back with, what next season, little ninja? Basically hinting that he could recast Lil Meech on BMF or cancel the whole show. While some fans thought that was a bit harsh, it seems like 50 is enjoying watching the family struggle. He even took a shot at Meech's money troubles by posting a GoFundMe link on Instagram with the caption, help Big Screech pay his $30,000 a month Airbnb. To add insult to injury, 50 even gave a shout out to quality control, saying, that's one of P's cribs, FYI. Now there's word going around that Big Meech set up a GoFundMe after his Welcome Home concert got cancelled because he's desperate for cash to cover his bills.
BMF boss, the legend Big Meech has a GoFundMe page.
What?
It was said that this GoFundMe page was set up to assist him in paying his bills since his Welcome Home concert got canceled. The funds from the Welcome Home concert was supposed to go towards his bills, and they were supposed to assist him in paying them off. Now,
reports still haven't been confirmed yet, and some are even saying it's all fake. But that didn't stop Tony from touching on a few other things in the interview. According to him, 50 actually stopped by Meech's house after he got out of prison, and back then, things were all good between them. While most fans think the whole Rick Ross situation is the real reason for the beef, Tony had a different take. Apparently, another reason the two aren't seeing eye to eye is the fact that 50 made millions off the BMF deal while Meech is broke right now. See, Meech is used to being the boss, but it's clear that in this situation, 50 is putting in way more work and making way more money than he is. That power shift. Yeah, it's definitely
Crazy. We went to Meech's house. We sat down with him, Lil Meech, and I thought big things in the future was coming. Because he was talking about stories about motherfuckers jumping in cars with bricks, and he just was telling the war stories that was amazing. Where I was mesmerized, and him and 50 was kicking it, and everything was good. And then you fast forward to the Ross thing, and that's when everything kind of went left, BMF was the last niggas to do it in the game. My album came out in 2005. Them niggas was lit, but I think something with 50 is like 50 is the type of, I think certain just don't want him to be in the driver's seat all the time. That's how it seemed, because it just seemed like a bad deal. You was with 50. He's talking about stuff in the future. He made your family money. You would think you would be a little bit appreciative, but motherfuckers don't have to be loyal to 50 in business. I guess that's how Meech felt, because he's his own.
In fact, Tony went on to talk about how 50 looked out for Lil Meech too while his dad was locked up. Believe it or not, 50 actually paid for Lil Meech's acting school, basically changing the whole direction of his life.
But when you take Lil Meech and you put him in acting school, you take him from Detroit. I remember him rapping when he was rapping, and nobody was helping him from what I seen, because I remember when Lil Meech was rapping. Nobody helped him, and then 50 put him in acting school, kept it on the low, and he made all this money.
So when it comes to 50 Cent and Big Meech, fans can clearly see who's been the better parent to Lil Meech. In fact, 50 even decided to flex his mentoring skills recently on Instagram. Thinking about it, I think Big Meech was uncomfortable with me and Mimi's relationship. I'm telling Mimi I don't want him doing substances. He told him he used to do X like it's cool. I tell Mimi to chill, to stop spending all your money. He told him how much money he blew. And that's not all. Apparently, when things started going downhill, 50 took it upon himself to send Lil Meech to rehab. People don't know I had to send Mimi to rehab. Russell Hornsby peeped he was high as EF on set. He started throwing up at a weapons test. Then Ian told me the little N-word had whippets in his truck. I said, what are whippets? I looked at the stuff that is in baby guns. FYI, Mimi is 50's nickname for Lil Meech. With that in mind, it looks like 50 is pretty proud of everything he's done for Meech. In another post, 50 talked about how he made the family millions. He made it clear that no one should blame him for the current financial mess the father-son duo is in. 50 even posted some old footage of Lil Meech and Rick Ross's daughter, Toy Roberts, back when they were together, with the caption, "Why old boy didn't look out for Mimi and send him to acting school? For big screech, all your people that were out did nothing for him." He also wrote, "You come home thinking you are the Black Pablo Escobar and effed him up." Referring to the reports that the next season of BMF will be the last one if it's not cancelled beforehand, 50 also said, "I helped your family make over $5 million legit dollars. It's not my fault it's all gone." Before finally taking shots at Big Meech, "You think people don't see that you want to shine so bad when you wear the baby's jewelry? Give the baby back his jewelry." That said, some fans believe Big Meech could have avoided all this drama if he just stayed loyal to 50. These two were set to make BMF movies and spin-offs together, and Big Meech could have easily pocketed 30 to 40 million. But instead, he went and took that picture with Rick Ross, which ended up messing up his relationship with 50.
Look at what he did. You sided with Ross, some bozos. You got 19 years of being incarcerated. That 50 could have took that and converted that to about 5 seasons, and then turned around and then did the overall movie. He had a good 30 to 50 million he could have made. Now you standing next to a mother who couldn't even keep a concert going. Rick Ross is on the concert.
Second on the lineup.
In about 10 days, Ross is going to throw him away. Now, I'm going to be real with you, Meech. If Rick Ross, seeing what he did to you, because he knew what he was doing standing on the side of him, right? He know Meech ain't thinking straight. If he don't throw you 3 wing stops, you up, knock that down. What 50 going to do? He's going to burn that down. He going to release that last season, and then he's going to release the Tammy and discredit everything that people thought that.
In fact, some folks believe that by linking up with Rick Ross, Big Meech not only messed up his own situation but also sealed his son's future too.
Meech getting out of jail and choosing to work with his son's boss's rival is prime example of how an unhealed parent can literally ruin your life. They will mess up relationships with your friends, with your significant other. You might even lose your job. Because nobody can tell me that Big Meech working with Rick Ross, his son's boss's known rival, was not deliberate. Okay? That is a very conscious choice. And why might a parent do that? Right? Maybe if they have some trauma, a little bit of resentment and jealousy. Because sometimes with an unhealed parent, all of the reasons they should be proud of you are the same reasons why they're a little bit jealous of you, right? He should have came home and made his coming home about family. Passing the ranks to his son on TV, making millions, looking good, he acting, got a career. You shouldn't even be all on the phones, on Instagram, trying to do a car show with Rick Ross. It'll never be 2008 again. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't healed that. So now you trying to relive your 20s. So you're not seeing your son's accomplishments as this is my son's accomplishments. You're seeing it as almost like competition. Like, oh, you trying to one-up me? Now the real Big Meech is home. So now let me show you how to get some money. Let me show you how to do it. I'm going to go work with your boss's rival. You think Big Meech thought about how him working with Rick Ross would affect his son? Because no, all I'm thinking about is some clout, some temporary clout. Because let's be clear, that relationship with Rick Ross and Big Meech is not real. It's not genuine. If somebody is with you just to spite somebody else, that is not a genuine bond.
At the end of the day, Big Meech is the one to blame for his financial troubles. Not only was he bad at managing his millions, but he also messed up his son's chance at securing a stable future. That said, there might still be a chance for Meech to turn things around. Rick Ross recently said he's interested in making a BMF movie, and he posted about it on his Instagram stories. But we'll have to wait and see if Ross can actually make it happen. After all, he couldn't even pull off that welcome back concert for Meech, so fans aren't exactly seeing him as the most reliable person right now. But what do you think? Is Big Meech heading for a downfall, or can he bounce back from the edge of financial ruin?